Hi everybody, this is my first YouTube channel on Gangstalking, and I had to film this video again as YouTube would not accept it. Either it was a bad file or it was too long. Now I have to reintroduce myself again, that I am a targeted individual who was put on a list to be surveillanced, harassed, and stalked against my will. Now these people are really shit. They work in groups, and they do this through group chats, messaging apps. And they talk about how to mess up my day or to make me upset, jealous, or all these feelings. The only feeling I felt from these individuals was the feeling of helplessness when they were doing this to me, which is a very common thing among targeted individuals. And that is the goal of ZZ Song, which is what was done on me. Now, ZZ Song is a psychological warfare tactic that was used on military, that was used from the military to be tested on enemy military states in Germany. And they are now testing that on normal civilized people, testing subjects, and I am one of them. And I've been treated like a guinea pig in terms of testing these things on me, seeing if I can psychologically break. Um, and I am also a victim of heavy witchcraft, um, which I have been under for quite a long time. And I've only realized until I believe that I started praying, which has to do with my faith. Um, I decided today to start filming this channel now because I had the faith in me and I feel compelled to do so, as they have affected a lot of areas in my life, including my education, my work, and every single thing you can imagine. Friendships, relationships, they have put their hand in it and they have stirred the pot. They drive people away from me. They put me in isolation and they separated me from a lot of opportunities. Sometimes I get them and sometimes they don't care. But sometimes, for whatever reason, they just want to play with me in terms of my life. They want to play God in my life. Um, I have been through this for 7 to 8 years, post-COVID. So for a very long time, I didn't think I would survive this. I didn't think I would get the answers. I thought that I would stay with my eyes shut forever. Um, I feel like when I started praying, all the answers came to me. I really do think so. And I really have seen um the plots and schemes of my enemies unfold right in front of my eyes. And I have walked past so many of them that I do believe I've rebuilt a life for myself. But I want to create this channel to spread a message of awareness that you are not alone out there as a victim of gang stalking, as a targeted individual. Yes, it's real. I exist and I'm one of them. And if you have family members who are participated in this, whether it be a father or an uncle, or a few others, family members, just so you know, if they were real family, I'm sure they would not take turns into doing this to you, playing games with you, doing this type of abuse. I'm sure there is no room for family in that sense, as they would not do this to you. Have they stayed by your side when you're going through this? No. They participated. They should too. They should too. Uh You feel like you can't breathe. You have this fogginess in your head. A few of the symptoms of gang stalking. Um, you are being illegally surveilled, especially in your house. You get followed everywhere you go. People report on your whereabouts, what you're wearing. Shit. You sit down, you want to eat something, you want to drink something. There's someone behind you pretending to be sick. This bullshit again. Um, you can't eat in peace. It always has to be about them, what they're thinking, how they feel about you. Um, yeah, the playing sick, pretending to be sick is a very big one. They go above and beyond about that, and it's so obvious in terms of when someone is sick and when someone is not sick. And um, they like to play with you when it comes to that. Um, and they make it very animated too. And they don't fail to hide their expressions. You can see it in their face. Um, the gang stalking on a scale, there's a scale, and you can go through these stages. Just so you know, it can pause the gang stalking, but it will never stop. It goes from low to high. So low, moderate to high. Sometimes you get the lowest of it. Sometimes you are in between and it's a neutral day and you go through the modesty of the there's nothing modest about this. You go through it at a moderate level, and then sometimes you go through it at a very, very high accelerated level, where it's like everybody in the city is doing this too. Everybody that you know is doing this too. That's at a high level. Everybody's in on it. Everybody's doing this bullshit, this circus with you. And then at a moderate, let's say half the city's doing this too. Half the population's doing this with you. Or if it's at a low levels, just 1 or 3 people at a time, or maybe 50 people at max doing this with you. I would say that's at a low level. One thing, people always recognize me and I don't recognize them. That's another thing. They know me and I don't know them. I can never know their face or even hear of them before, but they know about me. So I know that there's this thing going around that I need to be tortured and suffered, and I don't deserve that, obviously. I am not their guinea pig, I'm not an experiment, and they made me I would say basically their child sacrifice, and that's what I am. They did this to me for a very long time since I was 13, and I'd had nobody to turn to for support. Um, their main goal is to break you, especially psychologically. They want to label you as crazy or make you go crazy by getting everyone to join in on this campaign to stop you from living life or just getting to where you need to go and forming a normal relationships with people as a normal person. They don't want that for you. They want to see you suffer because you broke their ego. And sadistic, narcissistic people like that exist on the world. And they want to do this to you. And it's very unfortunate. What saved me, I would say, is my faith in Jesus Christ, God, my Bible, praying every day. I am a sinner. I am not perfect. But I would say that us targeted individuals, we're like angels against these demons, honestly. The way they transform to harass you and target you and piss you off, it's like they go into this demon form. It's disgusting, honestly. Like, it's like adults throwing tantrums because they don't like to see you win. Like, what the fuck? Honestly, is my expression. What am I seeing? Like that's what that was me for a very long time. Like, what the heck is this? Um, you can't form strong bonds with people, they have to come in and here they come, break it because they just can't see you live a normal life. They feel like you need to be controlled. That's what it is. They will manipulate you, they will gaslight you, and a lot of the times they will do this to you, uh, any type of abuse or harassment, and they'll be like, "Oh, are you okay? Did I just do that? I'm sorry. That no, did I do anything? Like they just play it off like that. Like, are you? But sometimes they're not even that animated. Sometimes they're just like, are you okay? You sick? And it's like, no, like shut up and leave me alone. Like, stop doing this to me. Like, will are there people who will just treat others the way they deserve to be treated as a person with human rights and respect? No, some people don't have that. My government is corrupt, and apparently it's a free country. No, it is not a free country if this is the shit that happens here. And, I don't know what to say, like, but I do. I do know what to say right now, and that is you are not alone in this, and we need more people who are targets and victims of gang stalking to come out and speak their truth. And a lot of the times, people who have stood by you can be any type of family member who have supported you. They will not tell you or be honest with you about what's going on. They would rather just confuse the hell out of you. And my advice to that is don't worry about it. Focus on yourself. Um, You're getting followed and targeted everywhere you go. Bring a pair of headphones and just block it out or keep going. And I decided to have the urge in me, the Holy Spirit in me, Jesus Christ, to upload this video because today I just couldn't. Like, the amount of gang stalking that has happened to me in the span of 2 months is ridiculous. But I'm not complaining. I've had it really bad in the past where I thought that I would never be able to be where I am at this state or point in time. But it has affected my schooling and my work immensely, where it's like I'm wondering, will I even be able to pursue my dream career? Because of these bastards. And they will not just leave me alone and let me study in peace or just make a life for myself. They want me to be a punching bag for them, basically, is what it is. And talking like this, being in this position is like I'm being held at gunpoint. It's like that. Like I'm being held at gunpoint, but this is being done to me against my will. This is torture, and they're torturing me. And they want to see me suffer, and it brings them glee. They're like a bunch of sadistic masochists that just can't stand to see people being happy or just normal people just living a normal life that don't do anything wrong. Like it irks them. And they're soulless beings with no ideas, no life, and they're a bunch of losers because who spends all their life, all their time doing this. Poor behavior, very poor and shit. And they're jealous of them your money or how much what you have. And honestly, I consider myself to be in a normal position in terms of my financial status. And they're just always looking at my money, what I have and what I own. And that's a funny thing that they like to do. And it's like they could have the same type of income as you or the same type of, they're just jealous. And they're jealous of the fact that maybe you look better than them or you look prettier than them. There's some type of shit like that. And they actually do witchcraft or spells on you. They do this. to mess with you somehow, and they will try anything to basically mess you up. Um, and they will send their flying monkeys, like stalkers, people to get you in trouble at work, or for you to have problems with your job. They will send in these people, and then have problems, and it will affect your income, and you will just have to quit, because at the end of the day, not only will you not only just be getting exploited at work, but you'll be getting this type of shit that you have to deal with at work, and it will be like a setup. You get what I'm saying? They'll send these flying monkeys, make these false reports, and they will interfere with your work. Your boss will have a chat with it, and it'll be some bullshit, but it has nothing to do with you. But they'll put all the blame on you because you're a targeted individual, and they don't want to see you succeed in life. That's what they hate to see the most. They hate to see you go out there and win and get what you want. May, because maybe some of these people, they have it all, and they're bored as hell out of their life. But I would say it's not just people or a bunch of people, it's a collective or a community of people of a religious sect. And as a Christian who grew up Catholic, and who's finding my way back to Jesus, we're not gonna blame everything on God, okay? We're not gonna do that. But it has come from a religious sect of a community who call themselves Christians. And some of them are not even Christians, but they recruit these people to harass and stalk me. Sometimes they pay these people, sometimes it's for free that they do this to me. Because they believe this shit. And they don't want to be put on the targeted list, or they don't want their social reputation to go down. So they have to participate. Um, or they get illegally surveillance too, and it's true. Um, where I used to live, I had such shit neighbors that they would keep me up all night, and I would not be able to sleep. I would have to play literally music all night every day, which honestly, I'm grateful. And I would say I hated the experience, and it put me through hell, but honestly, it introduced me to a whole nother world. Honestly, I found out new music, new bangers, whatever. Um, it helped me get out of my comfort zone thanks to these shitheads. Um, these Looney Tunes people going out of their way to do street theater whenever I go out, go shopping or whatever. They're always reenacting a scene where, let's say I got hurt by a family member or whatever, or I was in an altercation with somebody. They would reenact that in street theater to try and mock me, or put shame on me or whatever. Honestly, a bit like a humiliation ritual. And they would go out of their way to do that. And going back on what I said earlier about what was I saying? Um whatever. If I remember, I'll get back on it. But they will do all that. I'll get gang stalked at the gym as well. They don't like to see me in shape. Um the beach, wherever, literally wherever I go, wherever I travel, really. They're a bunch of clowns, and it's they work together in a synchronized way where they all know each other, and they have to get to new people before they get to me, so that I will always be a victim in a situation. And it's really shit. And I'm still optimistic, and I still look to life at a happy note. because you have to keep your heart pure and you have to keep your mind clear. You're dealing with some really evil people, and they will not let you go. They want to hold you onto you like you're a puppet or you're an animal, and they want to keep pulling on you. And they want to see you scream, they want to see you cry, they want to see you lash out, and they want to see the most out of you. Um, and that says that song, and that was done on me. And it's a psychological torture, which they would perform this on you. They would hurt you without them touching you. So they would hurt you in a psychological way, which would torture you, but without them touching you. And sometimes they've gotten so angry though, that they've actually touched me. Like their street theater people have like attacked me. That's what I'm talking about. Um, these people are diabolical. They're unhinged, and they're really crazy. And they're sick. They they want to know everything that you do, and they have to win at all costs, even if they're wrong. Wow, how noble is that? Like, you have to win by torturing someone and putting someone down or doing spell work on them, so you can get what you want. Wow, that's so real of you. Congratulations. And that's to my gang stalkers, obviously, not my gang stalking victims. I said a lot more in my last video and probably was a little bit more detailed, but YouTube wouldn't let me upload that. File not working. Hopefully this uploads. Yeah, it's how corrupt my government is for this to happen in my country. Um, I did not mention this in the last video, but they would implant listening devices so they can listen in on my conversations and know what I'm doing. They hacked my devices to see what I'm up to, see where I'm going. Wherever I'm going somewhere, there's always someone showing up that knows me or my whereabouts. They isolated me so that I can't be a part of anything, or I can't be a part of many things, or I can't have strong connections that will stay with me because they say so. They have to control everything I do. Because they're just shit. They're simple-minded people who are dumb and a bunch of losers. And they have nothing better to do but just watch you and plot on you and scheme on you. And they want to trip you before you get to that certificate or before you reach the end of your course. They want you to repeat. They want you to do all of that. And they can't stand you. You outshine them. They don't like that you're better than them in any way. That's literally how they think. It's like a bunch of spoiled adults who have not been really disciplined in their life, and instead thinks of discipline as torturing civilians or other people, as a way of controlling them. Since they don't have any control over their life, that's how they feel. It's like they're so jealous of you that they want to wear you, or they just want to be you, and it's so creepy. Let's say you go into a supermarket or a store, they go in behind you, and it's like flooded with people you don't know, just looking at the item that you looked at or buying the item that you buyed. So they're just literally copying you. Um, they follow everything you do, and they're mimicking you, mimicking your actions, your facial expressions, and their facial expressions are always animated. Um, and it's like, you go to Paris and you see the mimic, and he's just mimicking things, and that's just what these people are doing. They're just mimicking you, and somehow you're always the main character. You're always being talked about in conversations, whether it's good or whether it's bad. And it's always about you. Always. And they don't want to see you a part of something. They don't want you to have your own little group of people that you call trustworthy buddies or whatever, or they don't want to see you in love or whatever. They don't want to see that. It makes them feel some type of way. Like, um, it's like they've been watching you for so long that it's just they decide to do that, and they just want to ruin everything from you. My advice to that, like I said, you're dealing with some very sinister and evil people. Keep going. Don't let it affect you. Don't let it hurt your heart. I've recorded, but I have to say this again because of YouTube. Protect your heart. Don't trust anybody. Trust nobody, not even your family. Because they got to them. For me personally, obviously, um, everything is a play now. With people, it's like, yeah, hi, how you going? How's your day? But they know you, but they know more than you. They know about you more than you know you. You get me? And that's what's creepy. And it's like a Black Mirror episode. It's like a dystopian. And how I survived this in the past was I saw that I was living myself as a a character in a horror film, and but that's basically what it is. You're living your life as if you're in a psychological warfare. So basically you're living in a thriller where you're trying to survive a bunch of mentally crazy psycho people who are just trying to get on your nerve, and are just doing the craziest things to get under your skin and just know everything you do, and just one step ahead of you, mimicking you, talking about you. That's just all they do. And you just have to see yourself in a thriller or a horror movie to survive that. And that was my reality before I feel like I created a new life for myself. And that was by the help of Jesus and him revealing to me the plots and schemes of my enemies. Now, you having issues and problems with that, maybe the first step is to just read a scripture or just meditate. Meditate, um, start looking into this and seeing how it all started. Go back to the very beginning, and remember who were the perpetrators of these people. Think about who you pissed off or who didn't like you. Go back and just have a list of these names because you're on their list, and they want to blacklist you and everything. In terms of the word social, like socially, they want to entrap you. They want to put you in harm's way. And before I didn't get to say this in my video that didn't work to upload on YouTube, but there are actually some good gang stalkers, or there's not a real term for it, but there are some people who are your stalkers that look after you or look out for you. In terms of the other extreme gang stalkers, yeah. Um, I also believe that this is a very political attack. In some ways, like I believe that I was politically attacked in some way, because at the time I had some political beliefs, but it's not like um, those beliefs were made on my behalf, because my family have political beliefs, and I literally just repeat what they say and I believe it because as a kid, that's just what you do. And my beliefs change over time in terms, if it's in terms of political things. And right now, if you're going to ask me of things that are political, I would say I'm not really on a side, I'm more on the side of peace, that there should be no war. That's literally my um words on, if you're gonna ask me political, that there should be no wars in the world, that we should not be fighting with each other. That's just what I believe politically. And um at the time I just repeated what was said to me. It like that's political, and I believe that has something to do with it. But not just that, a lot of other things as well. And whenever it's like they try to one up you or be one step ahead of you in lots of ways. Like, let's say you want something, they'll have it first, but that's just really stupid and you don't care about that really. What you care about the most is that the fact that they want to stop you from leveling up in your career. And they will do that slowly and systematically. And they will do that in groups. And the first thing is that they will remove all your support, so you have no one to turn to. Um, and they will do this non-stop. Or whenever you have something good coming, there's always a family member or someone rocking up at your house, causing drama, so that shit goes sideways. And it's just that's just messed up, you know. And as much as I want to get away from this, like, everything comes down to money sometimes too. And not just money, it's like the manipulation you deal with. Um, you having to be careful with your words too. Um, Also be careful where you go, because some areas are more gang stalked and more surveillanced more than others. In some areas you'll get it worse, some areas you get it more. Sometimes you get the same amount of stalking everywhere you go. Like it's really much like that. Um, I got it a lot when I was at the airport. Like I said, where I used to live, my neighbors were so shit. Um, they were immigrants, and they um they did not know how to respect me as a neighbor. Obviously, um they would always be so loud. They would have their LED lights on. They'll be slamming their doors every 2 seconds, banging their doors, pretending to be sick, screaming, shouting, talking in a different language. And I would always have to stay out of my room. I would not be able to go in that room, not at all. I would scare my animals too. Um, uh, and I didn't have, yeah, had even moving to let's say a different state, right? Um, you can still have neighbors that stalk and surveillance you, but it will not be as bad as it was, where you used to live. But it'll be like them getting their kids to act out in weird ways, or just them watching and listening to you, and then twisting what you're saying to make it sound like it's something it's not true. And then everybody knows what you were doing or what you were saying in the house the next day. That's um a movie that I would reference to this gang stalking is The Truman Show. I haven't watched that yet, but I've seen a lot of clips of it, and it's very much related to gang stalking. Now, I know I know I wouldn't deliberately piss off somebody with a lot of power. I know I wouldn't deliberately do that unless I was approached by these people, which like in English, or them telling me first of all I pissed them off, then I would understand that. But they haven't done that. So from my understanding, it's just a bunch of satanic people who are pretending to be Christian that just have the shit with me and are recruiting people all over the city, civilians, normal people, to just treat me like a human experiment or a test subject. And I'm so sick and tired of it. Um, they've done this to a point where they like fried my brain, where I really don't care anymore. And I'm so tired of it. And I would really like it if they could stop. And it's like you can still have a community you join, but they might be gang stalking you either way. So it's like it doesn't matter. Like it's like who can you trust? Who will you know will have your back, or who will you know who will be true to you and not psychologically participate in the psychological warfare? Like, it's to put in her words and to put into terms. Um, um, I would say I'm proud of myself. Um, and I would say I'm proud that I've remained sane in all this shit that they've done. Especially to throw me off track. Um, I would also say to anybody who's experiencing this and that's out there, that you're not alone. Um, to let me know, especially in the comments, that you're going through this. And just keep having fun. Like keep finding ways to be happy in this life. You only live once, and they want to take that from you. A lot of these people too that are doing this are really old. Okay, they're old and they're miserable people. They got nothing better to do in their lives. Um, um, Also, a lot of these people, they pay to sabotage you. They pay money to do that. So that there's that. And they're always on the phone talking. That's part of their gang stalking. So they're always on their phone talking to their buddy or their mate, on what you're doing, where you are. It's part of their gang stalking. And some in the past, I would get my picture taken. They're not doing that anymore. Some of the people that I've seen do that. I mean, from my experience, I haven't seen that happen lately in the past 2 years. But they are, you know, continuing. They're doing the phone call shit. They're losers. Okay, they're literally losers. They got nothing better to do. And they want to know where you're studying, well, they want to know what you're doing, and they just want to make life hell for you because their life is shit and they got nothing. And they're very insanely jealous of you. And they want to label you as the liar. But well, who does it backfire on? It backfires on them. And you can always stand in your truth and know that if anything goes wrong, that they're paying money to make it go wrong. So keep praying against it, and They can try to make me forget what I'm trying to say, but they will never I will never stop speaking my truth. And there'll be more videos of this, more to come. And I just hope that this one uploads. And um I want to I want to pass whatever I need to get through. And I want to start driving, and I don't want to be gang stalked when I'm driving, and I know I can get there. I just don't want to have to watch horror movies every day like I did before. Like when I'm going through this bullshit of I'm in a horror movie and I'm surviving all these monsters. I don't want to have to do that again. I'm not putting that crap in my mind, and I would rather fill it with positive, good vibes or Christmas movies. Um, I am not a, I don't want to be a victim anymore, but I really am. And talking like this, it's like I'm talking at gunpoint. It's always like I'm talking at gunpoint here. Um, and yeah, anybody who says this is okay, and you've known them to be a normal person somehow, I would say they're brainwashed. Anybody who's actually participating in this is actually brainwashed or hypnotized. Anybody that's doing this to you, just so you know, they're hypnotized or they're brainwashed. They're the ones who are brainwashed. And if you have like people just calling you all kinds of names or whatever, and you're literally just a normal person living a normal human life, it's really them, and they're just trying to flip the script on you. It's like they're trying to create an illusion, so to make it seem like it's something that it's not. Um, yeah, I would say more. I'd probably remember what I say, but I had quite a rough day. Um, they want to give me false hope. They want to kill my spirit. So, we really need to help and support each other as targeted individuals, especially when it comes to achieving the goals we want in this life. Because they really don't want to see us succeed. It's like you're trying to get to that certificate and they're trying to trip you. They're trying to get you caught up in some bullshit like an argument, or they're trying to rage bait you. Really, with lies. But remember, you're their bait, right? God put you in their life for a reason. Whether you're Christian or not, um, whether you're Christian or not, they're just doing it for a reason, right? And you're dealing with some very evil and sinister people that want to get a reaction out of you. And I suggest studying their patterns and counteracting it the best that you can. But don't get upset, don't get angry, always remain calm, always remain level headed. And if not, just do it back to them. And, they're shit. They're shit for that, because you're just, you're treating everyone with kindness. You're a good person, you're a good human being, and they just decide to play God in your life or do Harry Potter on you, or just, you know, um, play games with you for stupid prizes. And, like, and then they say, "Are you okay?" after doing that. Like they want you to say you're okay, but just stay silent, or maybe just say, "Take me to where I need to go," or just leave me alone. Because honestly, why be nice to people who are literally your violators, like who are literally torturing you, making you suffer? Like, unless you have no choice, But, we shouldn't have to be victims in this, you know? Um, that song on normal people now is ridiculous. Um, these people are highly and very much insecure, and they want to find every type of insecurity that you have, and let's say you have none, so that they can make you feel some type of way, like feel their shit energy when their energy shit and you shouldn't be feeling shit. Okay? Just stay the way you are, stay calm, because that's another reason why they targeted you, is the fact that you had that peace in your life that they didn't have. Because actually, I remember my life being peaceful, but maybe a little bit chaotic, because I come from um, a household where, you have to eat or whatever. you know, I had a normal upbringing. Maybe not that normal, but um, I was put on a targeted list, and at some point they had me. So like at some point they did make me go crazy, but it stopped, right? Like 3-4 years ago, I would say roughly 3 years ago, um I gathered everything that I knew, because I spoke about this to so many people, but the goal is, when you're targeted, don't say a word. Talk to people who are experiencing the same thing, because it's a setup by a community of people who are all in it, all in on your downfall, and they don't want to see you win. The goal is to touch you without hurting you. That's the Zet song. To psychologically torture you and harm you, so that you can take the action yourself of destroying yourself without them laying a finger of you, but them being the masterminds of controlling your life and controlling how they end you. But really, they're pushing the torture and the psychological thing, so that you'll be the one who would um, have your own blood on your hands, and you'll be the one that and ends your life without them doing anything. But trust me, don't do that. That's what they want. Don't let them win. Um, they can have their knee on your neck, so that they can't make you breathe. But remember that it's not there anymore when you start fighting back. And when you start saying no, you start speaking your truth, and you start finding out, and you just you take that shit energy and you throw it out the window like it was never there. Um, I'm saying a lot because I myself am a targeted, and um, I'm trying to say this in a personal view, and also in an informative review. And yeah, I just want to be at peace completely. I'm tired of being their little celebrity in terms of like how they can torture me. And I want to have a good community of people that will not gang stalk me, instead of just having people who are by my side but are not really there for me, um, or being followed everywhere I go, and having these smear campaigns and these lies going on about me to ruin my reputation of me also being holy, or not, like of not being holy or whatever. But not every Christian is perfect. And a lot of Christians, they live this type of life, but um, you may just have different beliefs and they just don't like that. And we are all sinners, but sometimes, like if you're favored by God, like just imagine it's your ops who are on the receiving end who are just getting tortured this way. But like tortured this way, like they'll be get like they're getting karma by doing that. Getting tortured this way, or maybe from my assumption, they're getting grilled. Whenever they do this, and whenever they are doing this to me, I just assume that they're getting grilled because, um, what's cooking in the energy, they're cooking in my energy. They're gonna get burned. Um, um, they want to make you scared. They want to break you, and that's Zizet song. They want to break you. They don't want you to have a title in society. They don't want you to be amount to anything. They just want to see you fail. They're a bunch of losers. And they're all fake. Um they don't want to see you happy. And I don't know if I said this before, that there are good gang stalkers out there that look out for you, that look out for you. There's no such thing as good gang stalkers. I'll let you know that. And you also can't trust the good gang stalkers. I'll tell you that too. But there are some of them that look out for you and that want to make sure that you're okay or safe. But also be careful of anybody being overly nice to you after hurting you or just too nice to you. It's fake. It's just an ego boost and them wanting to feel like they're a good person after doing that, and it's just shit. It's shit energy. Um, just see everybody as you see them as a gang stalker. There's no innocence in this. Trust no one. And if somebody tells you themselves they're being gang stalked, just be very careful. Because I actually heard somewhere that there are gang stalkers that betray each other, and I didn't know that. Wow. Yeah. So be careful of anybody who tells you that they're being gang stalked as well, because you don't know if they're being told to say that to you, or if they're being sent to you to say that, or if they're really being gang stalked. A lot of the times they will send in people to befriend you or to get along with you, but they're most likely spies to gather and get intel or info out of you, to take to a community or cult to sabotage you, or to just take you off your path. And that's actually what happened to me. And it's happened many times. Just be careful who you trust, be careful where you go to. Also, be very wary of who you interact with, especially online. You don't know who you're talking to. Um, and I guess that's mainly what I have to say. This is my first YouTube channel, and you are not alone in this. Um, Never feel disappointed when you can't achieve something because of these people. Remember, they're trying to set you up. It was fabricated. Um, and you are loved. Um, and keep going. And if you have to go back to um surviving in any way, I'm really sorry about, like, you shouldn't have to live like this, especially if you feel like your life has gotten back. But that's what they do. They play games with you, They like to control the levels of stalking that do or surveillance they do to make you feel like you have it all good, and then it all comes crumbling down or starts to crumble because they're on your back and they just want to see you hurt. And a lot of the times, I also know, like from my experience, like my uncle, he's telling people to get along with me. He doesn't want to see me happy. He doesn't have good intentions. He's not genuine. He can tell me a mix of truths and a mix of lies, but he will never be honest with me about the truth. And I never really wanted to talk to that person, but sometimes we're put in situations where we have to learn characters for our growth. And yeah, if you're experiencing this, getting gang stalked for family members, don't trust them. But if you don't have anything, you relying on them, I would say don't trust them fully, because they are being used as a puppet to get information out of you, to report back to cults, covens, church groups, what you're doing, or just they just want to fuck you up. And don't let them, okay? They want to hijack your brain. They want to confuse the hell out of you. And really, to navigate this situation, you really have to have like something to keep you going. And I feel like for me, like, I'm sorry for talking more a lot again. That's for me, that's God. And if you're not a Christian person or a religious person, after being targeted by Catholic groups or maybe Masonic groups, um, find your way and find your truth. That's all I will tell you. And if you don't want to include God in it, like I said, like, you just find your truth. Find the cause and the roots of it. Remember the names of the people and everything. And don't always remember it, because you want to have a life. You want to live your life to the fullest. And like, say in your mind that these people have no power over you, and they will not keep winning in their sick ways. And you are the original. You are stronger than you think. And as gloomy as this sounds, if there's no way out, there's a way in. Maybe it doesn't really sound gloomy, but it's a bit inspirational. That's all I have to say today as my first YouTube video as a targeted individual. And I can't disclose too much information about myself to protect my privacy, obviously, but I hope this is informed and I get some supporters from this, some people subscribing, and so we can share this topic, because honestly, the term gang stalking is not used enough and it's not addressed enough, and not many people who are targeted are talking about this. But I'm going to end this now. Thank you for listening. Bye.